So, graduation, that boy is right around the corner. So, throughout my 4 formative years of high school, I learned how to do calculus, I learned how to memorize the unit circle, how to BS Latin, how to fix my BS in Latin, how to write an OEA and a research paper, and how the mitochondria is not the powerhouse of the cell. Yes, it is. Suffer be off. Just kidding. I love you. But I've also learned how to balance a busy schedule. I learned how to make one trip when bussing a giant table. I learned how to communicate with my boss and trying to figure out what works best for me and how my busy schedule will work. Speaking of a busy schedule, I also learned how to sacrifice things and when to accept that I need help, which is a huge thing for me. I was so bad at it, I still am, but my mom's there. She's pushing me. She's like, "You need help." So I'm there for the most part anyway. I learned how to make meaningful connections with people and not just like a surface friendship. I'm talking like a mentorship with your peers because a lot of people overlook that, and I did when I was first coming into high school, but looking back on it, without people like Madison Burlinghoff and Danny Reed and her sister Allie Reed and Sydney Branson, I wouldn't have like near the wisdom of relationships that I do now. I learned that family isn't just determined by biology and genetic information, it's determined by the connections you have with people around you. I learned that having an impact on a community doesn't mean fixing their house or fixing their life or fixing the world that they live in. It means having an impact on their happiness and making their day, just today, even a little bit better. And I know everyone says like, "Oh wow, traveling is a great eye-opening experience." I learned so much, and it's true, it's completely true. I learned so much about culture and history and just awareness of other people whenever I traveled to Haiti or Tennessee or just on mission trips with Miss Burlinghoff and Madison and Morgan, the good old youth group. And I really hate to be that person, but traveling really did help me understand TOK a little bit more on the whole like cultural awareness unit thing we did. It builds connections like you wouldn't believe. I learned that having a hobby like volleyball for me is extremely important, and it helps you keep your mind off of things that you don't want to think about, or just it gives you a break and it helps you get rid of all that negative energy. That sounds really cringy, but it's true as well. Here's me looking really creepy with a little child. I just really love her. She's a family friend. But here's me looking less creepy with my dog to supplement the fact that that last picture was creepy. Even though this really wasn't high school, I played the trumpet. I learned how to play the trumpet. I really feel like it shaped how I was in high school, especially in the earlier years. Alright, let's talk about our real biological families since we talked about earlier connections. Anyway, so your family's really there for you when you feel like nobody else is there. It sounds cheesy, and it's completely true. Again, I keep saying that, but are you really expecting anything else? Even though we have our rough patches, Kennedy, I still love them, and I'm extremely thankful for them, and I couldn't ask for a better family, like, ever. And that's what everyone says, but I mean it actually. I really mean it. Alright, going back to life, there's some bumps along the way, or some tears. There's always going to be people to pick you back up and help you out and support you and actually watch movies with you and sit there while you sleep and after you're like literally high on Percocet for weeks on end. No, just kidding, I don't do drugs and straight. But yeah, there's always going to be people there that are going to help you and be there every step of the way, every hobble of the way there. But for every crappy bump, there's also a milestone. There's me getting my mold for my retainer, and look, I got my license, and now I drive a Honda CR-V. Hooray! And here's me getting into college. Wow, great. UVA, go Who's. Woohoo! And that was not supposed to be like that. Weird. Overall, I learned how to take the time to focus on my loved ones, because at the end of the day, they're the only ones that really matter to us anyway, and why should I waste my time trying to please somebody who's unpleasable? You feel? Alright, and for the most important and most cheesy lesson of all time, just be yourself, because everyone warns you and they say, you know what, being someone else or trying to fit in is just too difficult and too much energy anyway, and nobody ever takes anybody's actual advice on it. But you know what, I really am starting to feel like I'm figuring out who I am, and I kind of like it, so I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna roll wing with it, huh?